Are we ready?
Welcome to Finding Your Sexiness podcast. I'm here with Bernard Ilsley. Did I say that right?
You did.
But he's also known as the London Psychic.
The London Medium.
Oh, the London
correct.
Medium.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. And so we're here at the Conscious Life Expo, and I noticed you had a very big flashy booth showing you speaking on stage in London.
That's right.
So
and
do you...
Santa Monica.
Yeah, Santa Monica.
About to go to on 9th of March. Yeah.
So you're a stage medium.
Yes. Yeah. It's not the only thing I do. I mean, I also do the regular phone type of readings. You know, people phone me for consultations to ask about love, money, health, the future, as well as the spirit world. But I particularly like doing the stage performances.
Yeah, I see like a lot of flash, a lot of sexiness. Now, finding your sexiness is not just about, you know, the way you look and the way you present yourself, but also about living a vibrant life. And what do you think about finding your sexiness?
Absolutely, I think that it's a way of life. You know, I mean, finding your sexiness is kind of like a libido thing. It's like you tune into that energy, like the Kundalini energy when you meditate, and you channel that through the work that you do. So it is part and parcel of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So are you channeling? Are you talking with spirits or channeling spirits? How do you work?
Yeah, it is really channeling. It's channeling through divine energy and love and connecting with the love of the people, you know, because when you connect with spirit, it's based on the power of love, really. It has to be something that you sort of, I suppose, gain in a reciprocal format. You know, you give love out, and the person that wants to receive the connection gives love back again. So it's sort of like a cycle of love.
So when you do a stage performance, are you kind of going around the room and picking people out?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you know? Does the spirit tell you, I want to go to that person?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I see a little light that will guide me to the person that I'm meant to be speaking to. And sometimes I'll connect with a specific situation that someone will kind of say, you know, that's me. But 90% of the time, I follow the guiding light, if you like. My spirit guides guide me.
And so if a person has somebody that's passed over that wants to come through, are you actually talking to that person? Are they coming through and giving you a message? Or are you talking to your guides? How does it work?
Yeah. I get a direct connection with the person's loved one, and they will give me a message. And the guides are there as what we call doorkeepers. They just make sure that we're connecting with the right people and that they're good spirits coming through and not ones that are going to be cause problems. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a closer relationship when you're talking one-on-one, when you're doing a private session, or do you like the big groups?
It's a very different dynamic. I love to do one-to-one readings, but when you have a group of people, the energy that you get from a large group it's very powerful. It's like it can raise the vibration higher even than when you're working on a one-to-one level. It's like lots of little light bulbs, and you know, it's a brighter light really to work with.
Yeah. And do you feel like, is it just out of curiosity when people come through, or does it actually help people?
It definitely helps in a number of different ways. Sometimes it can just be to know that their loved one is okay, that they are, you know, living somewhere. There's proof of life after death. Sometimes it can be about a future situation to do with, you know, money or love or health that can be helpful, you know, in regard to guidance. So it's a big variation.
So you're also helping people become sexy too, because you're helping them increase their life energy and wherever they've got problems.
Yeah. Releasing the negative. Two energies can't occupy the same space, so the more negative you let go of, the more positive can come in, and that's vibrant love energy.
Mm-hmm. So do you help people with things like career and success?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we have little, what I would call karmic lessons that we have to overcome, recurrent issues, and they can be like when we have hypnosis and there's some kind of phobia. It can be like that. So to overcome it, to realize what it is, to be able to put the finger on it and overcome it, enables you to go forward and progress, really.
So your guides might give you a specific thing that's going on, like, oh, this is not happening in the career because of this?
That's correct, yeah. And often if it's recurring, those problems are recurrent often, and I would call those karmic lessons. They're things you have to overcome. Once you've learnt them, then usually they don't come back again, but if you don't learn them, they just keep coming back in different formats, different guises.
So how does your message help? Is it just to kind of make them aware of what's going on, or do you do some kind of healing work?
Yeah, I mean, I'd make them aware of it, and also then I would give them solutions. I'd say, well, perhaps if you did this or if you did that, you could benefit from that.
Yeah. So does anybody actually come to you and say, tell me how to win the lottery, or how can I make more money, or what do you tell those people?
They have done, but winning the lottery, I suppose, is one of the areas that's kind of slightly taboo, really, is gambling. Otherwise I'd probably be in Vegas. But it's, we're made to work for our money. It's part of our destiny, karma, and free will. So and it's more fun when you get it then, and if you just learn the spiritual laws of life, if you like, and you overcome your karmic lessons, and everybody's different. Some of them, though, I believe from my experience, occur in previous lives. So sometimes there's situations that happen that have happened before you even get here, and I found those by accident when I couldn't find a solution to an issue that occurred in this life, and automatically found I was going back into different kind of ancient times and seeing where it began. Oh,
I absolutely believe in that. So do you see people's past lives as well then?
I do, yes. Yeah, I can tune into the past lives. Every past life, in fact, every memory that we have is stored in the subconscious mind, everything. It's just a matter of going back through it and finding it. It's like the browser on the internet, but it never gets deleted.
Yeah.
We don't know it's there, but it's there.
And now if you tell somebody a message and you tell them, okay, this is why you have a problem, and to do this and change this, is it affecting their karma? Are you taking away their karma?
No, because what then happens, it becomes down to their free will as to whether they do it. So you can't do it for them, they have to do it themselves. So it hands the free will back to them, and therefore they overcome the karma themselves. They just have the tools or the knowledge to be able to do it.
So you're just making them aware so they can actually do that, and they can take that lesson, but you're not taking their karma away.
Absolutely,
yeah. And do you think we're supposed to suffer or have financial loss or financial problems?
Unfortunately, to a certain degree, I think for short periods of time, yes, but not over long periods of time. Any lessons there to be overcome. So it doesn't have to be for a permanent time. So
anybody can be successful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody can have material success, you think, if they want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about love life? Do people come and ask you about their love life?
They do, yeah. Love life's always complicated.
Is that the biggest, you think? Is money or love? Which is the biggest one?
I think love.
Yeah.
Because money is not as emotional. I think that's the answer to that. Yeah.
So when somebody asks about their love life, do you get specific about what's going on, who they're going to meet? Do you give them advice?
Yeah. I think that there is a need to be specific as I can be. If I can see literal situations, happening, difficulties, I tend to try to look for the difficulties and say, well, look, that's what you need to avoid, and the good points, and that's what you need to exaggerate. So I try to kind of do it in that way, but obviously there's a lot of complexity to love, particularly when it gets influenced by past lives, soulmates, unfinished destiny, unfinished karma. All of those factors get mixed into our lives, and it makes love life a little bit complicated.
So what do you think about soulmates and twin souls? Are we supposed to be with one person? Are we supposed to have a bunch of lessons with different people?
Well, all of that, really. All of that, because I do believe absolutely in soulmates. It's a very powerful thing to experience. The other thing that happens, of course, is when we get into a situation when we have to overcome karmic lessons with someone, unfinished destiny, unfinished karma. So you could have been with someone, they could have passed into spirit 10 years in a previous life before they should. So then you have to meet them again in this life, complete that 10 years, and then, you know, move on again. So answering the question as to whether we, you know, it's the right thing to have one soulmate or, you know, be in different relationships, it totally depends on that factor. So if your karma is completed with one person within 10 years, then the right thing then is that it has to be a, you know, another person. And so it varies in this day and age more than ever, I think.
So do you tell somebody, oh, you've had your lesson with this person, they're done, move on, or you have to put it a little bit more tactfully?
Yeah, I always try to put it tactfully, but occasionally, absolutely yes. Occasionally there's times when you have to say, look, you know, this is only going to get worse, or it's a recurrent problem. So, you know, the karmic lesson is perhaps to walk away from it.
And do you believe if they've got a lesson and they walk away from it, but they've not really learned the lesson, they're going to draw in another one with the same problems?
Absolutely, without any doubt. Yeah.
So do you kind of do a little bit of coaching on how to fix themselves, really?
Yeah, I try to find out where that issue, that specific issue is, that specific karmic lesson, and then I try to help them to overcome that so that they don't get into a recurrent cycle.
So one part of you're talking to directly to relatives, so your mum's passed over and mum's come through with a message, but when you're talking about somebody's love life, that's not their mum telling you, right? Who's telling you that information?
Well, it can be.
It can be?
At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, mothers know best. Every mother out there knows I'm telling the truth on that factor. Experience, I think, is a very valuable thing. You know, my grandfather used to say to me, you can't put an old head on young shoulders, an old English saying. So that's perfectly true. You know, the heart doesn't always give you the right answer. Sometimes you've got to combine the heart and the head and put it together and have the yin and yang, the balance in life.
But do you have spirit guides that give you information, and then you have relatives? I
do have spirit guides. So coming back to your question, it isn't always mum that gives me the, you know, the guidance of the love life. It could simply be from me tuning into the vibration of the future and seeing certain circumstances that are either good or bad, and then I would relay that back. I would take that information from the future and bring it into the present day. There's all of these abilities, these things to look at, like past lives, the past, the present, the future, and the spirit world. They're all basically different vibrations or different frequencies, and it's a matter of being able to tune into those different frequencies, like different channels on radio or TV, and then you can, you know, find the information out from those different areas. So it's that I would go forward sometimes into the future to find out, not necessarily from spirit.
Is one harder than the other? Is it harder to tune into passed over relatives and get messages than it is to tune into energy, or is it all kind of about the same?
They're all on different frequencies. The lowest vibration is probably the past. Then the next one up is the present. Then the next one up is the future. Then the next one up is the spirit world. And then the next one beyond that is, you know, kind of like, I suppose, higher frequencies, like
angels and extraterrestrials.
Angels, yeah, archangels, that kind of thing. Yes. Absolutely, yeah.
But for you as a medium, is it easier to do to read person's energy, or is it easier to get loved ones, or is it just kind of all comes?
Totally depends. It varies every time. Yeah, it varies.
And is this a gift that you were born with?
It is, yeah. I mean, my grandmother did it, my mother did it, and then I did it.
Is it an English thing? You think it's an English?
Well,
it's in the genes.
You know what? Absolutely. Well, it's Celtic, because I did my DNA not long ago, and there's quite a lot of Celtic DNA, and some from Yorkshire as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I'm from Yorkshire.
See that? So Celtic. I totally believe that the Celtic genes do hold quite a high level of psychic ability. Yes.
We were a bunch of witches back in the day, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do stage performances, you do one-on-one readings. You're going to be in Santa Monica soon?
That's right, Santa Monica, 9th of March 2019. If you're out there, come and see me. It's going to be a small, intimate venue, it's only 88 seats. Then I'm doing the Ridgefield Playhouse over in Connecticut on the East Coast. That's on the 19th of March. It's hard to remember all these dates, but 19th of March, and that's going to be fabulous too. Yeah.
So do you believe that everybody's psychic, or some people can tune into it more than others?
I believe everybody is psychic. I think that some people indeed are more psychic than others. I think that it's about being able to tune out, to tune in. It's about getting down to one thought. Actually, the meditation and the ability teaching it and learning how to do it is also something that I've been involved in. I studied Eastern mantras and philosophies and breathing techniques with regard to meditation, and there's no doubt about it, if you can get down to one thought, which is usually done with a mantra, and then eventually no thoughts, then you can start to hear the universe and the vibrations of spirit. And they say the answers to the universe, the answers to the universe lie within, and so that's really why meditation is so important.
I think it's becoming more popular, even with people that are business people. They're now, thinking a lot more about meditation and mindfulness. Any tips on how they can bring more spirituality into their business, so they can make better, more intuitive decisions?
I would say probably the simplest thing is simplicity. When you're thinking of power and increasing power, I think it's about, and power and positivity brings energy and money, then it's about simplicity. It's about taking out the complexity, making things more efficient and more simple, so the time factor speeds up and the positive energy that comes in speeds up with that. So it's about bringing it down to simplicity, and meditation is a great thing for enabling you to declutter the mind. It's a bit like feng shui of the mind, declutter the mind through meditation, and then you can put that into practicality and then eventually materiality, if that's a word. Don't think it is, but it rhymed. And then you get into this situation where you can start to become more successful.
So if somebody's got a big business decision, or they can't decide, or they're wondering which way to go, probably the best thing to do is kind of stop, quieten the mind. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, quieten the mind. Try to look at how it could be simplified and made more efficient.
And that's going to actually, once they focus on that,
it's usually, I think it's over complexity. I think most people make the mistake of overcomplicating things, trying too hard, and then it gets too complicated, and therefore the solution gets away from them.
Yeah. Okay, so last advice on how somebody can bring out their sexiness, their vitality, their energy, their life force.
Well, their life force and all of that. Best thing to do is to focus on meditation, but discipline of the mind also then runs over into discipline of the physical body. So if you combine the two together, then things like yoga, meditation, and all of that, you will end up with the most perfect spiritual being you can become in this lifetime, which is a lifetime's journey.
Or you can come and see Bernard, and he can tell you, pinpoint exactly where your issues are, your past life problems, and then get that fixed.
Well, it helps.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. It was wonderful having you today.
Thank you. I enjoyed that.